here we are, Volume 6 of the Boston Marathon Bombings Chronicles. We are now under martial law, or as the authorities like to call it, shelter in place. Sorry guys, I just that fucking, yeah. So we just finished with the area support comment. Okay, so 416, we're just gonna jump right in. I want to get the information out there, so let's do this. At 4:16 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, lots of stale replayed footage for the last half an hour to an hour. I think something is up. Time delay lapses earlier, and now not so much on-scene reporting, just a voice with old replay footage. That was at 4:16 Eastern Standard Time. That was me. That was my thought. You'll see here. You can see that. That was by me. I said that. That was my personal thought. Okay? At 4:19 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the police presser. And this is the first call for shelter in place, or martial law as we all know it to be. They released a pic and a video of Mr. White Hat at 7-Eleven in Cambridge. Mr. Black Hat was shot, no word of being run over as of yet from any source. No planned controlled blast at this time. Not prepared to talk about identification. That was one of the reasons that those videos were released earlier today. That's a quote. They asked, where was he shot? Not going to get into that, he says. Several reporters ask if the suspect is dead. They get no answer because a higher up chimes in with, this is an ongoing investigation. We can't go under description on names. 20 block perimeter, and they say he came to kill people. Who knows? I don't think we'll ever even know if he was a real terrorist or if he was just somebody that was goaded into this. Once again, when I say things like that, I really want to refer you to a New York Times article. If you Google the term FBI hatches most terror plots, New York Times, you'll find the article I'm talking about, and you'll see how it all coincides. So moving right along, although I love 420 myself, I have to report here that at 4:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, he came to kill people, and then in parentheses, but let the victim of the carjacking go free after placing a bomb in front of us 8-year-old days before. It just doesn't add up. They actually said that he came to kill people, but it's reported that the guy that they carjacked was allowed to live. Okay? Does that make sense? Does that make sense about two guys who placed a bomb in front of an 8-year-old child? No. No. A person that puts a bomb in front of an 8-year-old child has absolutely no remorse. Has absolutely no reason to care. Okay? So why would they care about this person that they carjacked a vehicle from? Why would they let him be alive, escape alive, get thrown out alive, or be fucking captured alive? You know, they just started shooting cops, quote unquote. It just doesn't add up. Think about that. And that right there, that 420 statement was actually made by me watching the footage that was occurring at 4:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the footage is about the time I had that thought. Moving right along. So at 4:22 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, this guy fucks me up. Carjacking begs the question. This is another personal note from me, not the news station. says carjacking begs the question, why would they need a vehicle? It would imply that they did not have a vehicle. Then you have to wonder, how did they get all these grenades, improvised explosive devices, and multiple pressure cooker bombs to throw at the police during the chase? And from the eyewitness that saw them light one and throw it at the police. I don't buy the eyewitness account anyways. It is not consistent with real life. He shows, well, I guess I'm going to have to grab the camera for this one. I made a little diagram here. Boy, that's hard to decipher right there. What do you have? Gosh darn it. What you have is, right here's a person shooting. Now, this line says calendar, which is where the calendar is inside his apartment, on the 3rd story. Okay? Now, he has a chair on the 3rd story in his office. Okay? Here's the calendar. Here's the calendar with the bullet hole through it behind the chair that's in his room. But one thing I want you to know is that the bullet hole in this chair and the bullet hole that I saw on the calendar were level. Okay? And so, give me a second to readjust the camera so I can explain what the hell I'm talking about. The reason that seems fishy to me, don't you do it. The reason that seems fishy to me is because if they're shooting up into the 3rd story, okay, let's say my head is the building, 3rd story, 2nd story, 1st story, okay, so if they're shooting from down here up into the 3rd story, you would expect it to go diagonally, blam, right through the roof, okay, not straight across where the chair was sitting next to the wall where the calendar was. So you've got the calendar right about here on the wall of the 3rd floor, and then you've got the chair over here, not against the wall, okay? And this bullet went straight across instead of, okay, you see what I'm saying here? It just, it's not consistent with the way bullets and trajectory and things. I've studied so much physics. I'm an astronomer. I have gone to college for a science degree, and ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand at that point that gravity works in certain ways, and E equals mc squared, works into this equation, and unless there's something to stop the I'm not even going to get into it. It's not consistent. All right, make your own conclusion. And then let's see. So number 1 shows that if a cop fired a gun at what turned out to be the 3rd floor from the 1st floor, the bullet should have no reason to discontinue upward motion through the ceiling instead of going completely level from the calendar or wall to a chair that's 3 feet away. Now, that's a thought from me. That although this guy was showing his bedroom, or office or whatever, with the bullet hole in it and such, it's not consistent. It's just not consistent. It wouldn't stand up in court. I'll say that fucking much. Moving right along. At 4:34 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a talking point. FBI did not perform a raid to get this started. That's according to Lester Holt. And this is said on NBC. Now, he's saying that the FBI did not perform a raid or any type of campaign that got this started. Okay, and I want to refer you to email that came out the same day of the bombing. It was a guy from a security exchange or a security commission. I can't remember which. But he told everybody, he's like, oh shit, I got a big light above my head. My boss has been telling me about something, and I guess we're going to implement it now. And You know, he's like, things are going to get fucked up. You know, what's going to happen is these guys are going to be, you know, teenagers to early 20s. There's going to be a raid on Friday. They're going to find, what was this, an NRA book in their house. They were going to, and they were going to use it to, you know, as a gun control issue, which had been really big and popular, that they'd already done a couple of false flag attacks over with, you know, with that Connecticut shooting and the Aurora, Colorado shooting at the theater. Yes, they're both false flag attacks too. So yeah, I tell you guys, refer to that little. I'm gonna see if maybe we can't add a link to that down below, or something of that nature, or if I'll find a way to either get it in the video so that you can see what's being said 4 days before it happens. And so that's the talking point, though. The reason they want you to know that they didn't perform a raid to get this started is because of that fucking statement that was made by the gentleman from the Security Commission or Security Exchange. I can't remember which. And the reason they say that is because they want the conspiracy theorists to look wrong. And also notice they didn't find an NRA book. They got the information off the internet from the Inspire fucking website or whatever, the terrorist magazine. Same thing in their eyes. NRA handbook, anarchist cookbook, Inspire. Lots of talking. My poor throat's getting really dry. But another cough drop will solve that for about another 15-20 minutes. So remember that talking point, because CNN and Fox are also mentioning this, not just MSNBC. Oof, excuse me. So moving right along at 4:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Lester Holt claims after a half-hour carjack victim was kicked out of the vehicle by the brothers, which directly contradicts the story of the carjack victim later when it comes out. When the carjack victim gives his statement, he says that he ran away. According to Lester Holt, he's being told that they kicked him out of the car. I don't even know what the fuck he was doing in the car. He was probably their fucking CIA handler, you know, giving them instruction on what the hell they're gonna do, driving them through the fucking city while the fucking police are behind them. And I understand a lot of the police were fucking probably told, oh, these guys are cop killers. And so you know what happens when cop killers fucking are being looked for. They don't fucking come up, you know, to the police department in handcuffs. They come to the fucking medical examiner's office in a body bag. So he's probably actually their CIA handler that was in the vehicle. See what I'm saying here? That's possible. That's possible. That's not obviously proven, but my thought. At 4:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, an anchor lady reiterates that what Pete Williams and now Lester Holt say about this not starting with the police action or raid. This is a talking point to avidly debunk the Security Commission guy. As with Benghazi, I wonder if these talking points are coming from the CIA themselves. So, as you can tell, by like taking a little gander down there, take a little gander down there, you can see that we're past the 14-minute mark, and this video is closing to an end. I want to thank you. This has been about an hour and a half of me talking and basically giving you my viewpoints, and I really appreciate the views. We've still got a lot more to do. Right now we're only on page 15. We've got about 12 more to go, so maybe 2 or 3 more videos. I want to let you know right now that at page 27 I am definitely definitely tired.